This way. Welcome to the train room. It's time for a little update. I'm going to show the overall room. There's the layout. Back wall. Workbench. I'm going to give you an overview of where the Mondovi line is at this point in the first week of January of 2023. The layout so far has 16 feet. This is the terminus, and we have scenery here at the engine house, the Mondovi Canning Company with the coal burning powerhouse, the Land O'Lakes Creamery. They make condensed milk, cheese, and butter. And they have their large smokestack, which was a Mondovi landmark. Land O'Lakes receives empty cans by boxcar and cases and boxes flattened out by boxcar, and they ship out cases of canned condensed milk, powdered milk, tubs of butter, and good old Wisconsin cheese. The Mondovi Canning Company receives cases of empty cans, well, boxcars of cans, cases of boxes and cases, I guess. They ship out beans, corn, peas. Their brand names were actually Kindergarten and Recess. The one stall engine house was torn down in an earlier era. I've restored it because I like it there. This is the Midland Lumber Company. At one time it was the O&N Lumber Company. They receive building supplies, lumber by 50-foot boxcar. They don't ship out, they only ship in. And we have a yard office there. That's a Jason Jensen building. That building is scratch built. That building is scratch built. That building is scratch built. Land O'Lakes was a Walther's backdrop building. And then on this spur here we have Standard Oil, coal and oil. At the last review, we were about right here with scenery. I was about to put the road in. So we have some sheds, some rails stored there, crossing tower, and the road is fine cinders. In Mondovi, the road ended just beyond the depot because the Buffalo River was there. So since the last update, we've extended the scenery and the road in the next 6 feet of layout. The Mondovi Depot, the Mondovi Co-op Equity Association, a new building, the W.W. Cargill Roller Mill. They ship out flour and buckwheat for pancakes. We have a double length loading dock for the LCL freight cars. Pump house. The old water tower is not in use anymore. Suction shed and an old sand house that's not in use anymore. Well, actually the sand house might be, but I haven't decided whether it's going to stay. It's a Campbell's, as is the water tower Campbell's. I think I built this around 77. And we have the Mondovi Grain and Feed. I think that's a Timberline warehouse originally. I think that's a Campbell's kit for the elevator. That's the back of the elevator that I snapped off and spun around because of the walls there. And that used to be part of a Walther's mining set, and I turned it into a annex. The Mondovi Implement Company gets deliveries of equipment in the yard here, which gets stored until they come by and pick them up. And we have the water tower, which wasn't actually in Mondovi. It was in Osseo, a few towns down, but for now it's in Mondovi. If they didn't have one, they should have. New Heisel Lime Quarry had a loading dock. And the pickle works in the beginning of the property here from Monarch Foods of Chicago. And then we have the stockyard in front here. And Sinclair had an oil dealer, so I just added these coal sheds along the track. And they load untreated railroad ties into gondolas here along this road. In Mondovi, the actual yard, so this is where the scenery ends. We're about 12 feet from the end. At this point, there were two more spurs. I'm only 24 inches deep, but the other two spurs would have come off here on an angle. And there were two spurs. One went to a turntable in the original engine house. Turntable lasted till about 57. The other one had another farmer's co-op and the stockyard on it. We moved the stockyard closer. And the last 4 feet, nothing has been done. It's just sitting here, kind of storage, because it's going to make a 90-degree right turn. And we're going to add 8 feet right along this wall here. And we're going to add another 12 feet along that wall. And right in the middle, from that brick wall coming back towards the camera here, there will be a peninsula that's going to be about 14 feet long in total, and it's going to have a mushroom at the end of it with a scene break down the middle. So from Mondovi, you will go down to the end, make a turn back towards this way. Eleva will be on one side. You go around the mushroom at the end, and the town of Strum will be on that side. Then you'll go all the way back to the wall and come back along here, and the town of Osseo will be over there. And then going off towards the unfinished part of the basement will be a removable storage staging. So I could stage a train going in, going out. When they left the branch line, the trains would go back to Altoona. Anything going railroad east towards Milwaukee and Chicago would be dropped into Fairchild Yard, which will be staging. So that's where I am right now. We're gonna have, you see I clamped on a piece of 12-inch masonite. That's going to be the fascia, but it's just temporary. I wanted to see how it looked. The layout's not wired yet. This layout here is run good old-fashioned DC with alligator clips at the end. But I have Digitracks in a box that I haven't broke out yet, and I'm going to drop feeders at every piece of flex track all the way down, so we don't have any problems with drop-offs. For example, right now there's a piece in here that's about 10 inches long, and occasionally the power doesn't get through the connectors like it's supposed to, and the smaller switch engines falter occasionally. The larger ones seem to be okay, the Jeep 7s. So that's where we are. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to end with the train coming in. The SW 600 1281, which was one of the actual locomotives this line had from 54, 1280 and 1281 were purchased by the Northwestern and ran on this branch line. And they originally ran out of Marshfield, I believe, but by this time, 1959, they're running out of Altoona. And we're going to be delivering a Northwestern refrigerator car and a box car to the Land O'Lakes Creamery. And every train that came into town had a LCL boxcar on it at this time, and every train had a caboose. So that's the train coming into town. We'll follow this one in, and I'll flip the switch at the end to kill the power, because we are high tech. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit like, leave comments, and follow along with me this year, and we'll see if we can get farther. I'm hoping to at least get one more town in this year. That's where we are. Happy New Year.